there are service organizations that offer free services, free VA representation, and that's the DAV, the VFW, the American Legion. I believe AMVETS also has reps, but get a rep.
The American Legion.
I said the American Legion.
Oh, sorry.
He's old. He can't.
So the thing is, if you get now, granted, there's bad reps, okay, but if you get a good rep that will fight on your behalf, then that takes a lot of the load off of you, and then you can just focus on making sure that you go to your appointments and you're living your life as best you can while they're fighting on your behalf.
Listen up, maggots. This is the Grouch coming at you loud and clear with another edition of the Weekend Warriors podcast. This is the place for real, no bullshit talk on the harsh realities and irreverent humor around military life. So sit the fuck down, strap in, and get ready for a raw, no-holds-barred discussion. This is the Weekend Warriors.
All right, here we are with another episode of the Weekend Warriors podcast. I'm your host, the Grouch, and with me today we've got Anthony, the technical ham.
What up, guys?
Steven.
Evening, gentlemen and ladies.
Chris.
What's going on, fellas?
And working late nights, Cody.
Hey guys, I'm trying to finish up my dinner right now, but let's go. Let's get this started, man.
Get her done.
Well, so yeah, usually we start a little bit later to give Cody a little bit of extra time there because he's our only West Coast guy. But I don't know if everybody, all of our viewers, caught the fact that we just came over 3,000 subscribers. We're raring up to about 4,000 at this point, and huge shout out to everybody on Patreon and channel members because you guys help make the channel great and help us do what we're doing here, which is having fun. A little group therapy on the interwebs. So in that regard, let's start with Anthony. Anthony, how was your day? How you doing?
It's good. Just trying to figure out how I'm gonna work on getting my truck set up as my mobile commo command post, like what you did with the RV. Since
the Grouch Mobile Command.
Yeah, since I'm back home and living with family right now, and they said no radio here at the house, so I got to do everything out of my truck until I get my own place. And like I was
no radio for you.
That sounds like quota opportunity right there.
Oh, 100%. I just haven't gotten to it yet, but I'm working on that. Because I've still got myself for like on foot type of operations. Most of that's gonna be QRP, but I don't mind QRP. So. But yeah, just been working on that, getting things situated, getting ready to start college, still looking for work. But I'm officially out of the Army midnight Sunday. So the freedom is here.
Well, welcome to Civ Fleet.
I'm still doing the guard. Yep, I'm still doing the guard, but that's 1 week in a month. But I'm still basically a civilian and I get to do whatever the fuck I want.
Shit. Uncle Sam still got you by the nuts.
Yeah.
Right.
It's only states. It's fine.
So they call you up to go somewhere and they say, "Yeah, come on, buddy. We need you to go deploy here for a few weeks."
It would have to be World War III at this point because I'm on stabilization for a couple years.
Oh, it'll be stable. You'll be stably deployed.
So, Stephen, we've passed the 3-minute mark, and already Anthony dropped an F-bomb. So, the gloves are off, man. How was your day, and how you doing?
Ding, ding.
I thought it was just a minute.
It was good. As most of the viewers know, the degenerates that hang out with us Thursdays is my 6-meter lunch where I go sit around with a bunch of old guys and chitty chat with them about stuff. And today we talked about towers and antennas, and I showed them the antenna that Cody showed us last night. Can't remember the name of it. The one that runs along the gutter line.
Butterfly dipole. Yeah.
Yeah, that one. And they said, well, just make sure that you take the gutters into account because that'll mess with it a little bit. And some of them, being RF engineers, questioned the resistor.
I agree.
And I said, beats the fuck out of me. I don't know. I'm the new guy learning from y'all, so help me out.
Look, man, I'm just here.
Yeah. Then I came home and I am 90% of the way through moving one of our all-star nodes to the cloud. It is up and running, but I can't connect to our main hub. So I'll figure that out probably tomorrow because tonight's all about Weekend Warriors. Figuring out why Cody's so fucked up in the head.
Well, I mean, with that segue, Cody, why are you so fucked up in the head? And how was your day?
I don't know if we got enough time for that.
Not enough time. You guys don't have enough college to diagnose this problem. No, man.
I got the wrong degree for that one.
Yeah, my week has been not great. Lots of ambiguity going along with the unit and all that jazz. But
there we go with the college words.
Yeah, ambiguity. Okay, there you go. For the rest of us fucking cran eaters, nobody knows what the fuck's going on. All the shit's fucked up, and it's a big Spider-Man meme around this place. But
hey, wait, are they renaming your post?
No, man.
Okay.
There ain't nothing wrong with
Don't get started on that.
Yeah, please don't.
No.
we got to rename another one this week. We've already had two.
We'll talk about that.
I'm sure.
No, but I went down the rabbit hole of trying to figure out some ATAC stuff on our closed cellular network. So that was kind of cool. But other than that, I think the most depressing thing that happened today was that our commanding general, they took away our ball caps, so we can no longer wear ball caps in our uniform.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't even know you could in the first place.
I mean, we're wearing up 4 uniforms most of the time.
Oh,
but they took that away. Yeah, so it's very, very, very sad day.
For what reason?
For the Black Force. I don't know.
It's out of regs.
Yeah, something about professionalism.
I was going to say, I know the answer is because it's what they're not used to, and it's unprofessional in their eyes, and therefore that is the way.
Yeah, well, we got away with a lot of stuff, but the guy's just trying to wrangle it back a little bit. So, like, he's trying to change some of the culture.
I'm going to call bullshit on that. I'm going to call bullshit on that. The Navy leadership, including all the way up through admirals, has been wearing ball caps for years. So, and so is the Coast Guard, and I'm pretty sure the Air Force does it. I'm sure all the service. So why all of a sudden now is it unprofessional?
So it's the way of the Army because
I got an answer for that one.
It's because Army isms and they don't update regulations, and everyone's a stickler for regulations when it comes time to certain things that they don't like, and they abuse it.
Somebody got a hair up their ass is what happened.
Everybody with a star and above on their, or one or more stars on their collar is fucking scared they're going to get canned.
And they should be scared.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're fucking up, you should be canned.
Yeah.
Especially with the Navy. I mean, look at what the Navy's done recently. Freaking,
Started.
So this
drag queen promos and shit.
This ball cap decision, right? This comes 4 days before the chief of staff visit, the Sergeant Major of the Army visit.
See,
So-
there you go.
Told you, they're fucking scared.
So that could play into it, but
Oh, that's 100% what it is.
yeah. So I don't know. It's kind of silly, but yeah, that's what's going on. I wish I could tell you more, but I'd be divulging just a little bit too much about my unit that you guys probably can see on Army What the Fuck moments or order when it's still the T page or whatever you want.
As
So-
long as it abides with the new policies in place.
Oh yeah, that. Oh, we got to talk about that.
Oh yeah, I've been loving all of those random posts about it. Everyone's talking about it.
Well, just
Yeah.
keep in mind, Cody, right? This too shall pass, right? None of this shit's gonna last forever. So we'll
They
get through
can't
it.
eat you. They can't kill you. So fuck them. Feed them fish heads.
Take my away. What do you want?
That pendulum will swing back the other way at some point, man.
Yeah,
All
but
right,
you know what?
well-
It's kind of the little things, dude. Like it just really is the little things. Like, guys wearing a ball cap all day, right? Kind of plays into a comfort thing and all that jazz. So
Yeah, I was gonna say it may be a little thing, but that gives a lot of like huge like morale.
yeah.
What are y'all back to PC caps?
Yeah, patrol caps. They did away with some Stetsons and spurs that we used to wear all throughout the week. Now it's just on Fridays, like the rest of the Army. But whatever, just silly stuff, man. Yeah, just tighten up their shot group on their end. But
Just like back at Fort Sill on Fridays, you wore the colored unit patch.
the unit patch with colors on it. Yeah, is that what you're trying
Yeah.
to say? Yeah. Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Okay. Gotcha.
As long
No,
as we
do
clarified that.
we do the same thing. We do
Oh,
the same thing.
Not what I meant at all.
Sure.
How far did we make it in?
Yeah. All right. Well, before we get into Army policy changes and the State of the Union and Zelensky's Oval Office meeting and all that other stuff, Chris, how was your day? How you been?
Oh man, well, it's good to be here. I know I probably don't get on as much of these, as I'd like to. Actually, so I got an interesting story about today. I thought it was going to be a regular day. I went to work, normal stuff. I ended up running into one of our customers who showed up today. Guys just rolling around with a little wheelchair carts. I am talking. I saw a World War II hat on his head. Turns out the guy turns 100 tomorrow. And he
Wow.
was in Pearl Harbor during World War II.
Holy
Wow.
shit.
So I had
There's
like
not many of those guys left.
I had
No,
a half
there's
an hour
not.
conversation with this guy about like the fleet. He's a Navy guy. He was on LHT back then. He said he was out there. He watched, he was watching the boat sink and shit like that. And I was like, holy crap. I would have never thought that I would have ever met somebody from that time, like who was actually there. It was a huge honor to talk to this guy today. I shook his hand. I told him point blank, I was like, if it wasn't for men like you, men like me would not be able to have done what I did and do what I do now. So I had a half an hour conversation. Huh?
If you think about it, in about 20 years or so, we will be officially like 100 years since World War II.
Yeah. So like, the guy turns 100 tomorrow, and I would tell you, this guy didn't look like a day over like 75. So he's 100 years old. He looks damn good.
That's not bad.
But
Yeah, and Chris took up 30 minutes of his tiny little lifespan left.
he was happy to talk to me. As soon as I told him I was a Navy guy and we were
there.
stationed out in Pearl, right? He was happy as hell to talk to me. He's like, I haven't talked to anybody from Pearl since like for years. I'm like, so we talked about like the location and fleet and some other stuff, but it was a real honor to talk to this guy today. I shook his hand. I thanked him for everything he's done. I told him, like I said, if it wasn't for him and the things that his generation did, our generation couldn't do what we do. Other
There's
than
a
that,
reason why we call them the greatest generation.
yes, it is, man.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Because you know what? There ain't nothing great about today's. That's for damn sure.
Oh, 100%.
Other than that, this past weekend was the DX contest, and I crushed that.
Yeah.
So I was pretty excited about that. You guys saw the post in the Discord.
Oh, that was you talking about that. Okay.
Yeah, it was, man. Like that, I was super excited. I didn't think I was going to get anything out of it. I was like, all right, I'll get a bunch. I was like, you know what? I'm going to put some effort in. I was like racking them up. And then Sunday, like out of nowhere, like I got half my contacts on Sunday in 3 hours compared to like Friday night and Saturday.
What was your setup? Like, what were you running?
100 watts in a wire, man, from my house.
Yeah.
That was
Okay.
it. 100 watts in a wire off my 7300. You know, I got a 132-foot wire that runs off the back deck up to the tree line. You know, I was hitting places
Nice.
like Japan, like Galapagos Islands, the other side of Africa, you know, Asia, all up and down, you know, Europe and the Pacific. You know, I was places like that I'd never heard of. You know, I was like, all right. So I am, the last time I checked, I'm 2 contacts away from my DXCC.
Sweet.
Awesome.
So
Grinding.
I'm like, I'm pretty
Grinding.
excited. Other than that, man, it's like, you know, this weekend's just going to be relaxing. So me and the other half are just probably going to chill out, watch a few movies, just hang out.
Nice.
Good deal.
Well, Paul, how was your week?
Yeah, man.
You know what? It's been a good week actually. You know, so I'm at the house tonight. That's why you'll notice that maybe the camera quality is a little lower budget than normal. The missus is flying to California for a 4-day weekend. So I'm going to take her down to Logan at 5 a.m. And it didn't make sense to you know to stay at the RV park just so that I could come back to the house to drive her to freaking Logan. So yeah, so I'm just going to stay here at the house tonight and try and I don't know, maybe do some bonding with the rebellious 14-year-old boy that I have. And oh man, so he's got his first girlfriend. And so
Ooh.
yeah, so you know, like it's a big deal. And
When are they getting married?
You've had the talk, right?
oh yes, no, we've definitely had the talk.
You see,
Yeah,
when a man and
don't
woman
be a
love each other
fool.
very
Wrap your
much.
tool. But yeah, no, and thank you guys for you know Stephen and Cody joining in the live stream last night. Anthony was in the chat. You know, it was great. I think we had a little over 50 viewers through most of the night. We went a little over 2 hours. Gave away a whole bunch of shirts and hats and stuff, and now I got to reset to freaking do it all over again for 4,000.
If you don't know what this means, you need to watch last night's video.
I must have cut out before that happened because I don't know what you're talking about.
We started off right at the beginning.
That's
Oh, yes.
Carlos.
The thumb and the bum.
Oh, that, yeah.
So it's funny. I was watching that tonight while I was making dinner just so I could try and catch up before this.
Yeah.
And Eric's shirt that had the thing about bacon
Yeah.
came on literally as I was putting bacon in the oven, man. I was like, come on.
Yeah. What
Then I
is
heard
it?
Carlos talking about his thumb in the bum, and I'm like, what the?
I thought it was crazy with his stories, like especially when he said, like, I don't know if you saw my comment in there, like 20 jumps he does in a single day, and I'm like,
yeah.
I'm tired after 6 hours of sitting there rigged up for airborne operations in the Army for
He's hardcore,
a
man.
jump, one jump that got me
Hardcore.
tired, and that's only 1,000 feet.
You gotta watch his streams when he does like parachute mobile. He does the whole thing
So
from the time he goes up, he
Yeah.
jumps, and he's on the radio almost the entire way down.
I haven't seen the stream, but I've seen like recorded videos of him doing that, and I thought that was pretty crazy because he's normally rocking like, what is it, like a IC, it's some Icon radio. I'm forgetting which one it was.
Well, so he'll
Oh, he
jump
gets
with
that out
the
behind him.
705,
Yeah.
but he'll also jump the 7300. He's done that.
I think it was a
That's a lot of weight
7300 that I saw because it was a bigger one.
Yeah.
So do we want to start with the 7 minute and 30-second clip of the Oval Office?
Oh,
You-
of
you-
Zelensky.
You got one that's 7 minutes and 30 seconds.
Holy crap!
Yep.
That's the main one that pretty much shows the part where they fucking railed into Zelensky.
Now I can't reroute audio tonight. So if you can pipe the
Oh.
audio clean, then yeah, let's do it.
He broken this ceasefire. He killed our people, and he didn't exchange prisoners. We signed the exchange of prisoners, but he didn't do it. What kind of diplomacy, JD, you are speaking about? What do you mean?
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the President for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine that you say what problems we have?
I have been to.
Come once.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people into your military? And do you think that it's respectful to come to the Oval Office of the United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems, even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless. God bless. You will not have a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because you're in no position to dictate that.
That's
Remember
exactly what
this. You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very good.
You will feel influence.
We're going to feel very good and very strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and he happens to be right about it.
From the very beginning of the war.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having cards.
Playing cards.
But right now, you don't.
You're
playing cards.
Mr. President.
You're playing cards.
Serious.
You're gambling with the lives of
war.
millions of people. You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country. That's back to you. Far more than a lot of people said they should have.
Have you said thank you once? This entire meeting? No, in this entire meeting, have you said thank you? You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America and the president who's trying to save your country.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war, you can...
He's not speaking loudly. He's not speaking loudly. Your country is in big trouble.
Can I answer?
Wait a minute. No. You've done a lot of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not winning. You're not winning this. You have a damn good chance of coming out okay because of us.
Mr. President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone, and we are thankful. I said thanks
you haven't been
in this
alone.
cabinet.
You haven't been alone.
In this cabinet.
We gave you, through this stupid president, $350 billion. We gave you military equipment, and your men are brave, but they had to use our military.
Yes. What about
if you didn't have our military equipment,
if
you didn't have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
In 3 days. I heard it from Putin. In 3 days. This is something
maybe
new.
Less.
In 2 weeks. Of course, yes.
It's going to be a very hard thing to do business like this.
Again,
I tell you.
Just say thank you.
I said a lot of
accept that there are disagreements, and let's go litigate those disagreements rather than trying to fight it out in the American media when you're wrong. We know that you're wrong.
But you see, I think it's good for the American people to see what's going on.
I understand, sir.
I think it's very important. That's why I kept this going so long. You have to be thankful. You don't have the cards.
Thankful.
You're buried there. Your people are dying.
I can tell you
you're
again,
running low on soldiers.
Listen,
please, you're running
Mr.
low
President.
on soldiers. It would be a damn good thing.
Mr.
And then you tell us, I don't want a ceasefire. I don't want a ceasefire. I want to go, and I want this. Look. If you could get a ceasefire right now, I tell you, you take it so the bullets stop flying and your men stop getting killed.
Of course, we want to stop the war.
But you're saying you don't want a ceasefire.
But I said to you,
I want a ceasefire.
With guarantees.
Because you'll get a ceasefire faster than an agreement.
Ask our people about ceasefire, what they think.
That wasn't with me.
For you what,
that wasn't with me. That was with a guy named Biden, who was not a smart person. That was with Obama.
It was your president.
Excuse me. That was with Obama, who gave you sheets, and I gave you javelins.
Yes.
I gave you the javelins to take out all those tanks. Obama gave you sheets. In fact, the statement is Obama gave sheets and Trump gave javelins. You got to be more thankful. Because let me tell you, you don't have the cards. With us, you have the cards. But without us, you don't have any cards.
One more question to Mr. Vice President. I'm sorry, here.
It'll be a tough deal to make because the attitudes have to change.
What if Russia breaks ceasefire? What if Russia breaks peace talks? What do you do then? I understand that it's a heated conversation right now.
What are you saying?
She's asking, what if Russia breaks the ceasefire?
What if anything? What if a bomb drops on your head right now? Okay? What if they broke it? I don't know. They broke it with Biden because Biden, they didn't respect him. They didn't respect Obama. They respect me. Let me tell you, Putin went through a hell of a lot with me. He went through a phony witch hunt where they used him and Russia. Russia. You ever hear of that deal? That was a phony Hunter Biden, Joe Biden scam. Hillary Clinton, Shifty Adam Schiff. It was a Democrat scam. And he had to go through that. And he did go through it. We didn't end up in a war. And he went through it. He was accused of all that stuff. He had nothing to do with it. It came out of Hunter Biden's bathroom. It came out of Hunter Biden's bedroom. It was disgusting. And then they said, oh, the laptop from hell was made by Russia, the 51 agents. The whole thing was a scam. And he had to put up with that. He was being accused of all that stuff. All I can say is this. He might have broken deals with Obama and Bush, and he might have broken them with Biden. He did, maybe. Maybe he didn't. I don't know what happened. But he didn't break them with me. He wants to make a deal. I don't know if you can make a deal. The problem is I've empowered you to be a tough guy. And I don't think you'd be a tough guy without the United States. And your people are very brave. But you're either going to make a deal or we're out. And if we're out, you'll fight it out. I don't think it's going to be pretty, but you'll fight it out. But you don't have the cards. But once we sign that deal, you're in a much better position. But you're not acting at all thankful. And that's not a nice thing. I'll be honest, that's not a nice thing. All right, I think we've seen enough. What do you think? Huh? This is going to be great television, I will say that. All right, we'll see what we can do about putting it together. Thank you.
It was great television.
Oh my God.
That meeting was an absolute fucking shit show.
Oh yeah.
So, all right, who watched the whole thing though?
This is the first time I've seen it. I heard all about it. I read all about it. That's the first time I've actually seen it. And I'll tell you right now, just watching that.
I went back and watched all of it. This doesn't show the part. This doesn't show the part where Zelensky. It doesn't show Vance getting in his ass. It starts after that when Vance first gets in his ass. But the reason that Vance first got in his ass is because he said something in Ukrainian, which allegedly is bitch, calling Vance a bitch or something to that effect.
All right.
And you can see it a little bit better from this angle. But the eye rolls is what really set Vance off because he didn't understand it. But supposedly Zelensky rolling his eyes and smirking when Trump was talking is what really set Vance off.
Well, so the biggest frustration with this whole thing, in my eyes, right, was this was supposed to be a presser where they were supposed to discuss the deal they had already made, and then they were going to go sign the deal after they had lunch together. And instead of sticking with the prearranged agreement that they had settled on, he wanted to negotiate in front of the press.
Do you know why?
They needed guaranteed securities and whatnot.
Oh yeah, everyone was talking about that.
Do you know why?
Everyone was talking about why, because like he's liking the war is bringing in money for them, so he's liking the fact that they're.
It's the court of public opinion.
The night before this meeting, yes, everything was already prearranged. This was all scripted out that he was going to come in, they were going to do a photo op, and he was going to sign the deal. The night before, he met with a bunch of Democrat congressmen or House members, whatever, that bunch of Democrats
Who, Zelensky?
Zelensky did.
Yeah, there's a shocker.
They talked him into not signing and said, I forget what they said, but they essentially told him that it wasn't good for him, that they could get better for him. So he went in on their advice, the people that he's dealt with for the last 4 years, and he listened to them and fucked himself, fucked his country.
Well, and I mean, like, so how do you come into a meeting like that where you're supposed to be talking to the press about how you made this great deal with America and America's going to back you and put an end to the fucking war, right? But then instead of agreeing to end the war, it's no, this war is never going to end. I want to completely eliminate Putin entirely. And if
I
that
don't
doesn't
win,
happen,
then we're going to keep fighting until I win. That's
yeah,
stupid.
you don't have the fucking people to do that, nor do you have the resources. Like, you're
Their
just
resources
sending
are what
all
we
your
gave
people. Yeah, you're just sending all your people to slaughter. It's fucking stupid.
So this meeting
Yep.
should have went like this. As soon as Zelensky opened his mouth about anything, Trump and Vance should have said, "We're here to discuss the deal. If we're not discussing the deal, the meeting's over," and that would be the end of it. It didn't even
Well,
need to turn into this fucking shit show it turned into. They should just
you
stopped
got
it
to
right then and
remember,
there.
though, the American people are going off of what the media and the Democrats have fed them over the last 4 years.
Right. So you
So
say, "Hey,
Trump
we're talking about
went
the deal.
in.
If we're not talking the deal, we're done."
Yeah, but Trump
feed
is
the media
really
any
good at
bullshit.
the art of the game. And I think he wanted this to show the real Zelensky. And he was hoping that the real Zelensky didn't show up, but he did.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's a short little fucking Napoleon.
Okay.
What's fun?
I have
What's funny is after this, there was like a news article that popped up on my phone saying that now, like a day or two after this incident, Zelensky is ready to have
I saw that today.
negotiations with
Oh,
Trump.
there were several steps in
that.
between there.
And I was like,
Because
that's crazy.
one,
Yeah.
all of the other NATO countries came out and said, we support him. Well, now Poland, Slovenia, and somebody else have already backed out of that and said, you know what? No, we're not going to put boots on the ground for your war. We're going to side with the U.S. on this one.
Listen, NATO's fucking broken, period. Okay? It's been broken for years. It's
Well-
an organization that was built for a time that doesn't exist anymore, right? It's funded 75% by the United States, okay? And everybody else
Yep.
in NATO just fucking rides our coattails. It's a broken organization. It has no purpose anymore other than to keep Europe safe, but they don't want to keep them fucking selves safe. They expect us to do it for them.
What's crazy about it is that if Ukraine does get accepted into NATO,
That'll never happen.
I know, but if
Never
because that was the whole point. Like that's what started this. Because they were working on doing that, and then that's when Russia went in.
Yeah,
Cody.
Because if they make it NATO, guess what? That it will be World War III because that gets them under the policy of an attack on one is an attack on all. So now we have to go in because of the policies to go in and fight back.
No, let's circle back on the NATO thing because I got insight to add to that. But Cody, you had a thought. Go ahead.
Yeah, man, I want to play devil's advocate real quick. Okay, I'm looking at Zelensky in that meeting, right? Let's say if what Steve was true, right? They already had sat down, made up plans to fucking make this deal. Then they did the press conference. Okay, maybe in that deal, I'm making an assumption here that the U.S. will go to bat in the ceasefire agreement with Russia. But, hey, Zelensky, you're giving up this, mineral rights, that, yada, 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 to the U.S., right? And I bet you that's not in Zelensky's favor. It really isn't to give up, shit like that.
Yeah.
So I bet you Zelensky wanted to put that out publicly, right? to the U.S. cohort, right, to the U.S. media. And the second he started to imply sort of the shitty part of the deal, right, that's when Vance and Trump just would not let him talk, right? They got on top of it, right, and just wouldn't let him speak out about his frustrations in the shitty part of the deal with the U.S. And they just bullied him to a point where he finally gave up and just fucking rolled his eyes. I'm just throwing that out there, playing the devil's advocate.
His
I don't
his
think
eye
you're
rolling,
wrong.
his eye rolling was way before all of this stuff.
Yeah, but I still think that he did want to voice on the U.S. media the crappy part of the deal.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Cody, right? So
Yeah.
there's always going to be a crappy part of some deal, right? Somebody out of two people making a deal, it's never 50-50.
Of
Right?
course.
Somebody's getting a shitty end of that stick. And
Well, the whole-
Zelensky
the
is
whole
in no
point-
position to dictate terms to anybody.
Absolutely.
Either you
point
take
of a
our
good-
help and you give us what we think we want to get out of it, or go fuck yourself.
True, but in
So
the
let
voice of
Europe
public
figure it out.
opinion,
A
the voice
good
of public opinion, man. These guys, I just find out. I just think that if he's the middleman between U.S. and Russia in this peace ceasefire deal, right? He wants to fucking probably put it out there that he's going, look, this is what the U.S. is going to rape us for, and my country, and this is what Russia's going to rape us for. I just want to let everyone know, both sides. That's my opinion on it. I'm not trying to defend him, right? I think he's a fucking clown. In fact, he really is a clown. Like, that was his profession before he was the president. But still, I'm just playing devil's advocate on the fucking thing. If you guys know the story about Zelensky, man, go watch his fucking stand-up media shit. It's hilarious.
I didn't think it was a bad deal. Like, so we get mineral rights, right? I don't know all the all the technical aspects of the deal, right? Nobody's going to know.
Yeah.
Like, none of us will actually know that. But it's not a bad deal. You give us mineral rights. We put people on the ground to make sure we're getting the minerals that you provide us. And we're going to protect our own fucking people, which means nobody's going to come in and fuck with them. That's not a bad deal.
But you know what? That's U.S. influence another inch to the east. That's the whole thing that.
Yeah, but if it's an economical deal,
yeah,
versus a military deal,
Yeah, but
and
that, you know,
that was the key.
Hidden agendas are a thing. So
yeah,
like,
but that's
there's
true.
Yeah, but you know how we're the U.S., man. As soon as we find oil, we're gonna fucking stick some troops on it.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
So if as soon as we put a foothold in the economic mineral right type deal in Ukraine, and we want to, protect our assets, hell yeah.
I don't think Putin's going to be happy with any U.S. involvement in Ukraine at all.
No.
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 Yeah.
You guys ever watch Shark Tank?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
all right. So Kevin O'Leary he's great at making deals, just like Trump is, right? He's just really good at making deals. And he always says that a good deal, neither side is going to be happy.
Right.
Right. And so
they always got to compromise.
Yeah,
gotta
but so
compromise.
on the American side, we've given $380 billion in money and equipment.
Yeah. And what have we got for it?
Well, but hold on.
Nothing.
So all of that money though is just considered a gift to
A
Zelensky.
grant.
A grant, yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas the money that the European countries have given, that's a loan. And that money is going to get paid back. So why the fuck is it that we don't get any recompense for putting more than double what the Europe has put in? It was
the last
a smart
administration
deal.
screwed us on that.
Exactly, but it was a smart deal because it puts American companies in Ukraine to ensure the peace and security, while we also get a little bit to bolster our economy for everything that we've put in.
See, I think Zelensky was getting greedy. He wanted American companies in there.
100%.
He wanted American money, but he's like, "Oh, I want security guarantees," which means he wants American fucking troops on the ground. And I'm gonna tell you right now, go fuck yourself. You want troops on the ground? You got all of Europe to help you. We're not sending people over there. Fuck you.
Yeah, well, and so all right, back to the NATO thing real quick here, right? So when NATO was originally formed, there was supposed to be a barrier between the NATO countries and the Iron Curtain. And that barrier was to remain untouched by NATO. NATO was not supposed to ever encroach on those countries. And so in 2019, when Kamala Harris went to the NATO summit,
before that,
was it before that? I apologize.
Yeah, it started back under either Bush or Clinton, because we let Czechoslovakia and Poland in, and
okay,
that moved over the line a little bit. And then there was somebody else, Yugoslavia maybe, and Romania, and I forget who it was. I want to say it was Clinton put Patriot missile batteries in Romania. And that was against the UN treaty with Russia. But Russia sort of let it slide and said, look, stop coming east. Then move forward to now pick it up, Paul.
Well, if you think
so
about
then
it, right?
the Kamala thing was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yes.
Right. And that was because that literally pushes NATO right to Russia's border.
She went in and said, yes, Ukraine can be part of NATO.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Putin's like, well, the fuck?
Well, the funny thing is, if you look at the history of NATO, right? NATO was built back when, the Iron Curtain, the Eastern Bloc existed, but it was all under USSR back then. Right, all of those countries were all under USSR. Ukraine, Yugoslavia, Slovakia, Czechoslovakia. They were all under the USSR back then. They all broke off over time. And when the wall went down, it accelerated all that. So now you have all these countries there that are just like, well, we're not fucking Russia anymore. Some of them want to stay with Russia. Some of them don't.
Well, I mean, I get Ukraine's point of view. They don't trust us. They don't trust Russia. And they have good reason not to. Because when the Soviet Union fell, the Ukraine was third in line for number of nukes. Third in line for number of nukes. Nobody wanted that because they were small. And so Russia and the United States made an agreement with Ukraine. Russia said, I won't attack you if you get rid of your nukes. The United States said, if you get rid of your nukes, we'll protect you. Well, now look what happened a couple of years ago. The United States said, fuck you, you're on your own. When Russia said, fuck you, we're taking you. So, I mean, they have a valid point not to trust Russia and not to trust the United States.
Yeah, but
because
could you imagine if
our
the USA
fucking
got
bureaucrats.
Could you imagine if we got involved in that? We probably wouldn't be fucking sitting here right now because we'd all be Asher at this point.
Yeah.
Because Putin's a crazy motherfucker, and I have no doubt that son of a bitch would launch a fucking nuke. No doubt.
Multiple nukes.
Him or some of his generals or oligarchs, yeah.
So the U.S.
Because that's the unstableness of Russia.
It would legit turn into like World War III being a global nuclear war.
Yeah.
Well, he seems to be in charge. He's run by the oligarchs that support him. So he can't go against what they want.
You got to remember,
otherwise they'll take him out.
Putin's not like the guys before him, right? He's old school KGB. He is literally the guys they used to fucking send to kill the other people.
Yep.
He don't give a fuck. You ever watch some of his press conferences? He just stare. He's got that death stare on everything.
Oh yeah.
But he's also.
You talk about the 1,000-yard stare. He's got the 3,000-yard stare.
He's also extremely paranoid because he knows, and I mean, he's got like medieval times food testers and all kind. He won't eat or drink unless somebody else does it before him.
Well, it's because he's annihilated all of his opposition when it comes to the elections in Russia. I
Yeah.
mean, when you do that, like you've got to be a little paranoid.
Yeah, he's making sure he's not about to get poisoned, so he has someone else eat or drink before.
Although, I got a funny thing, and I don't remember if it was me and Cody and some others talking about it in the chat one night or something, but somebody brought it up and it's stuck in my mind. How many food testers died because they were allergic to something? Not because the food was poisoned, but how many cooks died because the food tester was allergic to something?
This has peanuts in it. I'm allergic to peanuts. I do not care. Eat the fucking sandwich.
I heard that and I was like,
they take that as
holy
poison, so he didn't eat it
fuck.
because he thought it was poison.
Boom! My mind was just blown with that one.
Guy's allergic to peanuts, eats the peanut butter and yellow sandwich. Next thing you know, Putin's got his whole fucking kitchen killed because he thinks they're trying to kill him.
Could you imagine?
Yeah. Yeah. He's sick in the head.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, that makes me wonder when Obama's cook died mysteriously.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder why.
Off the boat. I don't know.
Remember that.
I'll go back to my original statement about the meeting, though. Like, that meeting was an absolute shit show. It should have never been in front of the public. You guys want to act like fucking idiots as world leaders. I'm calling Trump out on this, too. I voted for the guy every fucking time. I don't care. I'll admit it. But I'm calling him out, too. You guys want to act like idiots on the world fucking stage? Do that shit behind closed doors. Get in a boxing ring. Duke it the fuck out. Don't do it in front of the press. Okay? It makes everything look bad, and then
that's
nobody
how they
will
get their publicity. That's how they get their publicity and get out there, because they make themselves look good because they're like, "Hey, no, we're going to defend our people." And
so I'll tell you this: in Trump's first term, I supported probably 90% of the policy decisions he made. There's a few I didn't necessarily agree with, right? The one thing I hated the most about then, and I'm gonna hate the most now if he fucking does it, is he doesn't know when to shut the fuck up.
Oh,
okay?
Yeah.
Seriously, he does not know when to shut up and just let things be and move on. Just say, okay, enough's enough. We're done here.
Especially,
I used to
especially
say,
when it came to his social media.
Used to say, stay the fuck off Twitter, but now it's stay the fuck off Trump social media.
Yeah. But the biggest one, too, like at least with his first term, he was in charge of his own social media. Most other presidents, they had someone do it all for him. Trump did it himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will give him credit, though, because if you watch the whole thing, and it's about 50 minutes, like Trump was very patient and very diplomatic through the whole thing until it got to the point.
The look of his patience when he's just like, yes, quite.
Well, trust me, like watch the whole thing, because from the beginning, like Zelensky had brought in visual aids to show and all sorts of other things, and like I mean he was prepared not to sign this deal, and it was clear from the beginning of that meeting that he wasn't there to sign this deal. And Trump was very patient, very diplomatic through the whole thing until it got to the point where like Zelensky had made one too many bad comments about continuing the war, and he had done one too many eye rolls, and it was like, all right, enough's enough. Like, you're being fucking rude and disrespectful in the Oval Office.
Yeah, you know, at the end of that meeting, Trump probably looked at Vance and was like, I'm glad I fucking hired you. It's like a rabid dog fucking went after fucking Zelensky.
Now he's going to be like, sick a boy.
So contrast that meeting with Zelensky to his speech the other night.
I missed the speech.
Was fucking presidential above all presidential speeches.
I missed the speech, but I did hear that one, like someone got booted out.
Al Green.
Al Green from Texas, which is funny. So here's the fucked up part about that. He got booted out. That 13-year-old kid and his dad who were there, who they made like the honorary Secret Service agent, live in his district. And they were like, he's a fucking piece of shit. He couldn't even honor the kid for like 5 minutes. He had to keep running his mouth.
Wow.
So, yeah. That was a presidential speech.
And I thought it was absolutely disgraceful of the Democrats, regardless of how you feel, right?
Yeah.
When Trump pointed out Laken Riley's family and that boy JD, and there was a guy that was to the left of JD and his dad that also got a mention for doing some great things that he had done. Like these are true Americans that have overcome adversity, and they've struggled, and you stand and you applaud those fucking people.
Well, back up just a few minutes before that. I mean, what have we as military individuals always been told? Respect the rank, not the person. It doesn't matter if your general is a piece of fucking shit or your first sergeant is a piece of fucking shit human. He's still your first sergeant, and first and foremost, you respect the fucking rank.
Yep.
And in my opinion, as a libertarian, I don't care which side of the fucking aisle you're on, respect the fucking position of President of the United States. You may not like Trump, but he is still the President of the United States. And when the Sergeant at Arms introduces him and he walks down the aisle to shake hands, you don't fucking turn your back on him and play on your fucking phone. Show the office respect, because that's what the office demands. Or
they don't have a respect for the
to.
office even when they're in power. So why would they have a respect when the other side's in power?
But that goes for the Republican side too.
Oh, I agree.
Some bitch was standing over there on the Democrat side holding up a fucking sign, and dickhead for Republican reaches over the fucking crowd and rips it out of her hand. Fuck it. Don't play their games.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not one side. It's both fucking sides are doing it. And that's what's wrong with America is the Republican Party and the Democratic Party. They forgot about compromise and our ability to compromise. No, you can't be happy 100% of the time. I'm not.
It's like bipartisan is the biggest oxymoron fucking
it is
ever spoken today. You know, we're the bipartisan blah blah blah. Well, yeah, if you get no, you aren't. Everyone's trying to fucking cock block everyone else.
Yeah, no, you're just fucking partisan. That's all there is to it.
Yeah.
Well, no bipartisan in there.
At some point in maybe like the last 8 years or so, there was a cultural shift politically where the Republicans vilified the Democrats and it became good versus evil. And then the Democrats vilified the Republicans and it became good versus evil. And when you're talking on those kind of black and white terms where it's good versus evil, like, well, you don't negotiate with terrorists. You know, you don't negotiate with evil. You eradicate it. And so, you know, we stopped being decent human beings to one another.
Civil.
And it yeah, you know, it became, no, you're evil and how dare you fucking think that way. Well, I want to hear why. Tell me why you think that way. And let's have an intelligent discussion about it, because I'll give you 100 reasons why you're fucking wrong, but I might also be wrong.
A couple of old school Democrats, and we don't see eye to eye on everything, but we do see eye to eye on a lot of things. And I mean, I don't know if it's a generational thing. I don't think so. I think it's just
it is
a mental illness.
Is. No, Steve, it actually
is. Because Nancy and Shifty Shift and all of them are older.
Yeah, but they're just old and bitter, right? They're pissed off.
Nancy's been in politics since fucking JFK.
Yeah, they're old and bitter when they don't have power because that's what they want. But the new generation. But if you've ever talked to them, right? Like I haven't personally talked to them, but if you ever watched them, like in the old days, some of the old stuff between them, they would actually sit and listen to each other. They don't agree on shit. But back then, they actually listened. The new generation of politics that's come in, you know, I'd say in the last 12, 16 years, right? A politician that's come in, they've stopped listening. It's either my way or the fucking highway. And I don't care what you say. If you don't agree with me, we're not going to have a conversation.
You see
That's
that
what
with
it turned into.
you see that with like the presidential debates too, because like back in the day, they could actually like take turns talking. Maybe there's a little bit of an interruption, but nothing crazy. But nowadays, you can't get a single word out without the other guy fucking be like, no, that's bullshit. I didn't even fucking say anything yet. What the fuck are you talking about?
Well, most often in those old school debates, each candidate could articulate their fucking viewpoints, right, and all that stuff
without a teleprompter.
Nowadays, it's just fucking attack the opponent, the opponent.
Yeah,
and I'm over here like.
They don't even stay on topic. Like the guy there coordinating it asks a question and they go way off the rails, and the guy comes back to it like, "Hey, you didn't answer my question. Answer."
You know what's funny? I hate to say this because being on the right side of the aisle, the last time I saw a civil presidential debate was Clinton.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you think back far enough, you can go. You know what? It started after him where everything started to go downhill, and I didn't vote for him. I think it was, he respect the office, not the person type of thing, right? He did do some good. He did fucking balance the budget and a few other things, right? He did a lot. He did a lot of not good in the office too, but he didn't respect the office clearly, right? But if you look at the debates back then to now, from him forward is when things started going to south.
Maybe.
Well, I think we had a big societal shift during that time frame too, right? Because you're talking late '90s into 2000.
Yeah. Like 20 something years ago.
Yeah, but like there was a big societal shift where
Clinton was 30 years ago.
Clinton 30.
Yeah, because Clinton was mid '90s.
Yeah.
Because I got out of the Army 32 years ago, and I got out under Clinton.
2000,
when he was
right?
downsizing the Army.
Clinton's 92 to 2000, and then Bush. Yeah. You know what the cultural shift is, Grouch? Right before I'll let you speak after this, man. I think that right around 2000, early 2000s, that's where the internet started to reach the real masses.
Yes.
Where it wasn't just the local news that everyone was watching.
It was the global.
Yeah.
The invention of social media with AIM Instant Messenger and all the other Yahoo chat rooms and shit.
And all the news groups learned that they can really start manipulating things like a lot easier because they just post whatever online.
That's a good observation, Cody. I didn't even think about that. That's about the time when
that's a really good point.
Take off.
Yep. I want my MySpace back. I'm just
right.
That was the best
every time.
That was the best, man. Customize your pages and everything.
Yeah, man.
As soon as you go to my page, music is playing.
Check out my top 8 friends. Yeah, watch the little glitter thing going down.
Tom was always one of them. Just remember that.
Dude. That's why I get nostalgia every time I open up QRZ. I'm like, oh yeah, dude, what did this guy just?
and then you get into an argument with one of your friends. I'm mad at you. You're off my top 5 friends.
Right.
Well, and then you could embed the XATs chat box. I don't know if you remember those. The XATs. And so then you'd have your own little chat on your MySpace page.
That's right.
Yep. That's where it is, man. That's where we had the major cultural shift. If we want to talk, it's a newer term now, but the woke became woke once we all got more.
I hate that word.
Each other. Well, it's really once we all got more connected to each other, right? If it was just the village idiots that lived in their village and they never talked to each other, cross village, we would have never had that problem, right? But as soon as you start getting the masses of the village idiots colliding with each other on this thing, right? You're making your own subculture, which can influence the other cultures, and it's just convoluted fucking mess. Look, I get it, man. The internet, I think is the best invention of human history, right?
You want to be doing this podcast right now without it,
right? It has connected all of us, right?
Yeah.
The only thing we really shared before the internet globally was each other's air, right? Okay, but nowadays, right? That now we know what each other's butthole looks like, but whatever, you know.
The old
you
chocolate.
got pictures of your butthole on OnlyHams?
Only hams, yeah, on the only hams, both ham hocks and whatever's in the middle.
I hope one day someone becomes like a millionaire or something and gets that domain and makes it something.
Yeah,
I don't care what it is. I just want it to be an actual website.
Let's do it.
Well, it is. Namecheap bought it, and they won $11,000 for the domain. Almost 12.
Did they do anything with it?
No.
It's for sale.
It's sitting there. It's for
No,
sale.
they parked it.
That's what I'm saying. I want them to do something with it.
Well, Anthony, what you got to do, right, is just take some of that separation money and buy that domain and have that be your freaking website.
What fucking separation money?
Talking about.
I'm getting my last paycheck next week, and it's only going to be half because I'm halfway through it.
They took it all out because he fucking couldn't clear CIF.
I cleared CIF.
Clean enough.
I did a fucking miracle. I cleared CIF first time go for ETS.
Really?
Yeah.
What did you do something dirty under the counter for him or what?
No, I was prepared to, but no. No, actually, I got this really cool guy. He did not give a fuck. Like I legit told him, like I handed him something. He's like, I don't want this, and I was like, okay. So I put it back in the tote box and I had all my shit. And there was one thing. I didn't wash anything. Somehow he took it all. If it was the digital stuff, like the old fucking UCP shit, they didn't care because that shit's just getting life cycled, probably going over to Ukraine or whatever the fuck.
Okay.
The OCP shit is like where he kind of looked at it. As long as it wasn't like completely fucking filthy, he took it.
I know why. I know why you did it. Yeah, I know why you did a first time go because the guy that was taking your shit in, right? He was so fucking worried about coming up with the 5 things that he did last week to fucking send off to Uncle Elon. So he's like, well, I let Tony fucking come on through. I cleared.
This was way
5 soldiers out of the army.
To be fair, that was way before that. This was back in November,
you gotta
December.
turn your shit in before you leave. Like,
yeah, you gotta clear. You gotta clear. I had to turn in everything minus the stuff that touches your skin. So like I kept my silks, my waffles, my gloves, all of that shit. But like my rucksacks, assault packs, all of the like my kit and everything, turned in.
I walked off the fucking boat, and when I transferred out of my final command and went Civ Fleet, I walked out with everything I fucking walked in with, and then some.
What the fuck?
I didn't turn shit in. I turned my cell phone in is what I turned in.
Well, I mean, Chris, you guys don't have a whole lot of like war fighting tactical gear, though, right? I mean,
it depends on where you're at and what you're doing.
Yeah, but like fucking, you're not dealing with like body armor or other stuff like that. Like, all this.
No, because like So on a
Yeah,
submarine, right? You don't actually have your own gear. It's issued out of the weapons lockers.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
So
instead of the weapons lockers,
you're issued weapons, you're issued armor, stuff like. If you're overseas, like like a shore patrol or something like that, you're issued gear there, and when you transfer commands, you turn it in from. Like you don't have your own stuff. It's not like,
Army issues all of it up front, and you hold on to it your entire time in.
Yeah.
Except for the plates, you always turn those in.
Silly. Fucking dumb.
They started doing helmets you turn in.
Oh yeah. Actually, I just looked at all my CIF records yesterday. I have $11,463 of equipment.
And Doge is going to make sure you give it all the fuck back.
Yeah, right. Like, it's nuts, though. I mean, There's so much shit I have on there. It's useless, dude. I got stuff that's BDU on there. Okay, listen, there are already folks out there that are watching this. All right, this is 2025. Why the hell do I have BDU shit on my fucking record?
But don't you have it? Don't you have it mostly for? I mean, were you in during BDU, or did you just have it because of Op 4?
No. I was in for BDUs for a very, very, very short stint.
God, you're such an old fart.
Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, you guys.
That's all I ever had was BDUs.
I'm on my 4th combat uniform, my 3rd dress uniform. I'm fucking tired of buying shit, man.
Oh my God.
And we had to polish our boots.
Yeah.
I had to do that too. Well, the dress uniform.
Yeah, we had leather boots.
Oh yeah, my dad used to tell me all about it, how it like spit shine in the boots and the BDUs and everything.
Yeah.
He was in back in the 90s.
Yep.
Yeah, and they didn't put comfortable soles on those boots. Like those soles were hard.
So
back
when
in
I
the
joined,
90s.
Yeah.
When was your dad in?
That makes us feel fucking old.
I think it was like 92. He was only in for like 6 years because he got med boarded because he broke both of his arms and got metal plates in. But it was like 92 to like 97 or something like that.
Your dad and I were in the same
baby.
time.
I was in before your dad.
I was born in 95. I hit 30 years of life Tuesday.
Holy fuck.
2 days ago.
I was already on my way to the fleet at that point.
I'd already been out for 2 years.
Yeah, when you said earlier that you got out 32 years ago, I was like, damn. 2 years later, I was born.
Tony, what is it like? Yeah, Tony, what is it like having Lion King be older than you? How does that feel? No, I'm kidding, man.
That's crazy. I just realized that I've been out for 21 fucking years now.
Hey, don't get it twisted. I may have only just turned 30 2 days ago. My wife tells me all the time that I look and feel and act like I'm like in my 40s or 50s. Because every time I bend down for something, my knees are popping, my hips are popping.
Wait until you hit 55.
Yeah, what do you hit 40s and 50s, dude?
Of course, a lot of that is probably because of airborne jumps and everything. 43 jumps does a lot to your knees.
True.
So, Chris, you got out in 04?
Yeah, September 04.
Well, I got out in July.
04, I was in.
Yeah, but when did you go in?
Grade.
2000.
Oh, see, I went in 94.
Yeah.
Got him.
Yeah, I did 10. My daughter was born. I was like, okay, I can go back to sea or I can spend time with my kid.
Oh.
Yeah, no choice.
All I know is right now I just need the VA to get off their ass because my shit has been sitting at step 5 for a month now for them to decide what percentage I'm going to get.
Yeah, no, the term hurry up and wait 100% applies to the VA. So
I'm aware. Doing it with my dad, I'm aware.
But hear me out. Okay, so I got out in July of 04 and I started having issues around Christmas time. And so it was about spring 05 that I went down to the vet center. I started looking for help, and there was this great guy that worked at the local vet center. His name was Al Porsche. But he took me to the VA. He got me hooked up with eligibility. He got me in the system. And from that point began my battle. And so it took me until 2011 to get my first rating decision, where they gave me 50%. And then I was like, all right, fine. Like, it is what it is. Like, 50% is 50%. Like, it's better than nothing. Like, it's been a long fucking slog. And then 2012, like, they freaking upped me to 100% permanent total. And it was like,
did you do a re-eval or they just did it?
No, they reevaluate you every year.
Okay.
Yeah, so you have to go in every year and get a reevaluation. And so I went in and they were like, dude, yeah, you're fucked. Like, your body's broken, your mind is fucking broken. Like we're just gonna put you at 100% permanent total.
Is it livable at 100%? Because you can't technically work.
Well, so is it livable? Yes.
Like income wise.
But I mean, you've got to live within your means. So so currently at the 2025 rate, I'm like 4,200 a month is what I get. Which, you know, I mean, the mortgage is 1,900 a month, and you factor in all the bills and everything else. Like at the end of the month, you know, I've got maybe 100 or 200 bucks left. But like, if you live within your means, it is doable. And you know, you're just not going to live, you know, some extravagant lifestyle. The thing that sucks is like I want to keep trying to work. You know, like I know shit happens and I might lose my cool and I might, you know, have a fucking issue where, you know, I'm no longer in somebody's garage working on their garage door. That's what I used to do. You know, instead I'm in the sandbox and, you know, I'm fucking losing my mind. That shit happens. But like at least give me the ability to continue to try working. You know what I mean? Like it's just something to supplement my income and to give me some feeling that I'm not a worthless piece of shit fucking living off the system. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Steve, I just sent you something in the Discord.
I don't
But
have
so
Discord open.
Oh,
yeah,
StreamYard
Anthony,
kills Discord.
I wouldn't expect a decision anytime soon. It's going to take you at
let me
least
see
a
if I can
year.
get it in here on the chat then.
Okay.
So-
yeah, because I started back in like December.
Can you get it or no?
I can get it on my phone.
All
I
right.
did start the eligibility application to start with my appointments and everything because I went up to the VA here today, dropped off my DD-214 and everything. They said they got to send it to the main hospital that they fall under, which is in Columbia, about an hour drive for me. And then next week, I got to call them, make sure I'm good. They'll explain to me my benefits. Then I can start making my appointments. And then I got to drive up to Columbia to there and get my VA card.
I think that's it in the chat.
Living wage MIT. Yeah.
So check that out, right? We're just talking about living wage real quick.
Yeah.
That website, open that up real quick, Steve. So I found this. I'm part of the, like, I don't know if you ever heard, like, the Ascend Collective. It's like a whole thing for like veterans and stuff like that.
Ooh.
Yeah. So they send out emails periodically on stuff for vets. They sent this one in one of their recent emails. You can put in a location and it'll give you what the living wage is for that location. 2025.
I need to make $36.21 for living wage.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
You know
It's
what
crazy what the numbers are.
You know what I haven't found around here for work? $36.21.
And it changes by state and location. If I put in mine, you know what my living wage is? $50 an hour. I can tell you, I used to make over $50 an hour at my old job, you know, but that's after 27 years of doing
How
stuff.
do you spell Merrimack?
MERRIMACK.
Oh, just click on the state and then click on the.
Put the zip
yeah,
code
you gotta choose the state first, and then it's like the city or county or whatever.
Click the state, click the county.
Hillsborough County.
There you go. That's it.
42.
Yeah, and New Hampshire has never freaking increased their minimum wage in forever, and it is 7.25.
What the fuck?
What county are you in, Cody?
What? Wait, oh, here right now?
Yeah.
San Bernardino. Yeah, I know. There's a lot of sands. Yeah, two children.
You got 2 kids at home, right? So
50 bucks,
48.
40, 50 bucks an hour.
Yep.
Oh my God. That's based on just you working too.
Yep.
Put in mind, New York.
What county in South Carolina?
Florence.
35 bucks, 36.
36.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
That's cheap.
Too bad I can't find that.
What part of New York?
Saratoga.
Holy shit.
Right there, one.
Damn.
So according to that, then, right, my current income from the VA is $3,160 a month shy of a living wage.
Yeah.
What the
Yeah.
fuck?
I have never gone to the VA. I have been told repeatedly I should go to the VA because I could probably get something out of it. You know, being a Navy nuke, being on a sub, all the fucking shots I've had to take, you know, all that crap, right? I was told I could probably get at least 50%, if not better. You know,
I was told getting out that I'll get 50% just for my sleep apnea alone.
yeah, I can't trust that the VA is going to do anything for me, so I haven't gone.
They just got rid of sleep apnea.
They haven't yet because I got told the same thing. They have not officially yet. It's still.
So, Paul, maybe you and I need to talk offline to figure out what you did, to figure out maybe what I need to do.
The biggest advice that I could give to anybody that is dealing with the VA is get a rep. There are service organizations that offer free services, free VA representation, and that's the DAV, the VFW, the American Legion. I believe AMVETS also has reps, but get a rep.
The American Legion.
I said the American Legion.
Oh, sorry.
He's old. He can't.
So the thing is, you know, if you get now, granted, there's bad reps, okay, but if you get a good rep that will fight on your behalf, then that takes a lot of the load off of you, and then you can just focus on making sure that you go to your appointments and you're living your life as best you can while they're fighting on your behalf.
Yeah,
true.
And another resource, not really rep stuff, but just helping out that I learned when I called the VA the other day to just get some info on what I need to do going forward. There's something for those of us who have deployed, because it's something only deployed people get, apparently. The vet center, there's like a free confidential like therapy type thing. I don't know if it's a one-on-one or a group session, but like we basically get free therapy because they know we're fucked up from deploying.
Yeah, vet centers are 100% a fantastic resource. You can go for free and you can get individual counseling, you can get group counseling. I before the vet center moved, they were in Manchester, New Hampshire, and it was a really convenient location. And so I would go and I would do individual therapy there, and then they had a Tuesday morning coffee group, which was awesome. Like it was a multi-generational group where there was guys from World War II and Korea and Vietnam and fucking here, there, and everywhere. But to listen to the stories, these guys, I mean, they're generations older than us, but their experiences and the things that they suffered when they came home and the issues that they had, it's all the same. You know, it's all the same. And so to hear that from one veteran of another generation to your generation, like it means something, because it puts a little bit of validity to what you're going through, that what you're going through isn't unique to you. We all share that. I think Cody calls it trauma bonded, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trauma bonding.
I actually had a buddy here. He's our DM for our D&D group, like I told you guys about before. Look at the title.
Dungeon Master.
But he's a Marine. Got out after so many years, so it was a med board situation. He's not too much older than me. Like he's like early 40s, so he's only got like 10 years or so on me. But like he was telling me like because I asked him, I was like, what about the Legion here? What about the VFW? All that stuff. He's like, the VFW, he wouldn't necessarily recommend it, though there's someone in our group that actually works there, so she recommended it because of the whole good old boys club and all of that BS. But then he also mentioned I forget what it's called. It's like a Marines specific group.
Marine Corps League.
Yes, that. They do breakfast like every Thursday morning or whatever at some place, and he said that it's open for me to like. He's like, I know you're Army, but like you're free to come if you want. It's open to anyone. It's just, of course, it's mostly for Marines, but it's open to anyone. He said.
Marines are inclusive. We don't hate on you, Army fucks.
Oh, it was funny. The first time I met him, we just started going at it like with the jokes between Marines and Air Force, because there's like one or two other guys in the group that are Army. He's all alone, the lone Marine, and then there's like three of us Army guys, and the other two were trying to keep up, but me and him were like the only ones that were like really going at it with the jokes.
It's not the few, the proud, for no reason.
I thought Army stood for ain't ready to be a Marine yet.
Yes.
Yo,
the Army was invented because even the Marines need a hero.
You guys, I was looking at the living wage website, right? And we're at my current location, all that stuff. I finally scrolled down. It says required annual income before taxes.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm a sergeant first class in the Army with 19 years deep. And I know my total income. I mean, it's really easy to fucking look up. I'm like $9,000 short on livable wage as a sergeant first class. He's seven.
We talked about this when I was at Bragg. I was I was in an SF unit. I got pulled onto a detail where I basically pulled staff duty for an entire month with a group of like 3 teams of people for an entire month in July. And for First Special Forces Command, so like generals are up there and everything. And we have like a little group chat going on with us for the thing, for scheduling and all that stuff. And we see the pay wages because we see the ranks in there, and we started looking stuff up, and we're like, the commander of this command is making like $20,000 a month, and we were all just like, that's disgusting. Meanwhile, here I am barely making 30
doll hairs. That's nuts, man. I don't know. I just
all because he has a degree.
That's silly, man. Gross. Well, hopefully Doge figures it out.
Money's becoming fake at this point. I'm sure you guys probably saw it. Well, did you guys hear there? I think I saw it today. That it's official as of today. A new Federal Reserve for Bitcoin.
It's only a matter of time.
I
mean, think about it. Like, if you look
executive order was signed today.
Think about it. If you look at all of the, and I hate to go this route, but if you look at all the science fiction movies and shows and everything else, they all get away from some kind of like paper money, and they all go to a digital currency, regardless of what type or like none. Like Star Trek goes with none, right? For example, right? But like they all have some kind of digital currency, or something tangible like a gold or silver.
Yeah, or
social credits.
Yeah, or time.
Yeah, fucking. I watched Justin Timberlake fucking chasing time one time. Makes sense. Oh shit.
It was only a matter of time before they start phasing away from actual like handheld money and start going to some digital currency.
It's crazy. Like, have you guys looked at like what it says? Like a single Bitcoin is like worth these days?
Hey, Paul,
it's almost 100,000. Yeah,
there tomorrow.
Yeah, it's like way the fuck up there.
Gold hit the highest ever today. It is currently at $2,923.40 an ounce.
Yeah.
Ooh,
That is an all-time record for an ounce of gold.
Maybe I
Look
should have
what-
listened to those
look at what it
commercials
was
way
20
back
years
in the
ago.
day. Hey, we should have listened to those commercials that we saw on TV back in the day.
yeah, man.
That 1-800 number to get the gold and silver
Look at the
coins.
change from 20 years ago, man.
20 years ago, it was at $400 an ounce.
Yeah, we fucked up by not getting into it. That's fucking wild.
Yep. Should have stocked up on gold and ammo.
Meanwhile, we're just blowing money on random
look
things.
at
like-
silver.
Who says
though.
we didn't?
Oh, silver.
What is that for?
Silver
Silver.
topped out in 2011 at $47 an ounce. But
Okay.
it's already back up to $32 an ounce.
That's fucking wild. Man,
You know what I gotta find is I gotta find a way to copy Nancy Pelosi's fucking stock trades. That's what I need to do.
Oh,
There's an
a-
app for that.
There's an app
There's
for
an
that. There's an app for that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, now that she's gone, really fucking, she's
Yeah.
out. So that's fucking pointless. But the next fucking Pelosi, whatever the hell that's gonna look like, might as well.
Pelosi's
Yeah.
not gone.
It's, now that Trump's fucking taking up all the limelight, dude. She ain't got nothing. Fuck, dude, you kidding me? He's too busy arguing with fucking clowns on the fucking in the Oval Office.
Meanwhile, we're over here spending millions of dollars again on base name changes.
Look,
All right.
okay.
Hold
left
on.
me alone the first
Before we get into base name changes and army policy changes, how do we put a bow on this conversation? Yes.
Pizza.
All right.
Out of me.
Yes.
Which piece of it? I
Okay.
mean, we probably hit about
Very
15
carefully.
topics tonight.
All right. How about
Cody,
this?
lead us off, man. You're always good at this. Lead us off, man.
Well, I don't know, man. What did we talk about? We're
Everything.
okay. Look, we got goofy goobers doing goofy shit in the White House. Nobody knows what the hell is going on. We've all been lied to. Maybe we've been lied to ourselves.
For a long time.
Comes to the media and all the other shit, right? The only sad reality is that if you ever served and you're trying to get some extra cash on the tail end, it's probably going to be a pain in the butt to work it. So just keep grinding, and then the rest of it, I don't know. Just remember that we all are trauma bonded by something or another. And if you did serve, there's one guarantee that we did share. Some old dude checked out our butthole on day one.
Walk like a duck.
He
Think
stuck
about
the
it.
gum up
You
there
didn't
to make
have
sure
somebody look at your starfish. You
helped
weren't
us-
in.
he helped us thrust forward so that we get the good position.
The big thing, it doesn't matter what government's doing. The first thing that we have to do is take care of each other. And
Yeah.
as veterans, we do what we're doing now. Find other veterans. You may not find the right group. You may find some Navy fucks. That's okay. You might find some Marines. Yeah, you're probably not going to fit in. Find some that were in your branch. And unless you were in the Space First or the Coast Guard, then you're kind of fucked. And talk. Because there's plenty of people out there that will listen to you. And that's where it all starts, is being civil to each other and listening to your brothers and sisters.
Yeah, and I'll add to that, keep an open mind, because
Yes.
a differing opinion is a good thing. You don't want to put yourself in an echo chamber where you're only hearing what you want to hear. Have an open mind, listen to differing opinions, try and understand where other people are coming from, because hopefully they'll show you that same respect, and they will try and understand where you're coming from.
Right, because while all of us were in, each of our 5 service times were different.
Yep.
Yeah.
Even for me and Cody, because we've had a few years where, like 11 years, where we pretty much shared time together. We were in at the same time, and our experiences are still different.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right. And so with that, I will say thank you for everybody that's enjoyed this episode. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. Thank you to the Patreon
If not,
members.
fuck off.
Thank you to the Patreon members, the channel members, and everybody that supports what we're doing here. I hope you enjoyed it. And the Patreon members, we'll catch you in the after chat, but we'll catch you on the next one. Stick with it.
And
we're all in this together.
if you haven't clicked the fucking button, subscribe.
Yes.
Yeah, and well, make sure that you click the bell, because now we're going to start doing a monthly live stream. And so if you don't have the bell clicked, you're not going to get notified when we go live. And so, yeah, click that bell.
You've got at least 2 channels here that you can watch it on. Mine and the Grouch. So there, you got your choice.
Hey, the bell reminded me that I had to get on the stream. Come on.
That's why you were hauling ass down the highway like Dukes of Hazzard in a Humvee?
All right, so now let's start talking about some policy changes.